Welcome to my channel where we show you tips and strategies on how to be a more productive business owner with a new training each week. So be sure to hit that red subscribe button below.
Hey, it's Coach Jeremy here, and I have had a lot of questions on building a frame for your videos after a frame that I had added to improve my videos last week. And I'm going to walk you through the basic steps. I'm not going to go in and show you the second part of it, which is using a product like Wondershare Filmora to go in and do your video edit and then lay this frame over the top. So if you want to just jazz up your videos a little bit, frames are a great way to do that. And they're really easy to make in Canva. And you have to have the Canva Pro actually to be able to create the transparent photo that's now going to lay over your video. So if you're wanting to do this, you're wanting to use Canva, you will have to pay for that upgrade. All right, so you're going to create a design, and it's going to be a custom size. The width is going to be 1920 by 1080. That may sound familiar if you look at labels on TVs being 1920 by 1080. If you look at the YouTube viewer, 1920 by 1080, it's basically the element size that you need to be able to fit the viewer properly. So it's really important that you choose that. Make sure that you pick pixels. You do not want to pick inches. That'll be way too big. So 1920 by 1080 is the appropriate size. Click on Create New Design. All right, so here's the blank template, and now all we have to do is create it. So the first thing you're going to do is click on Elements, and you're going to click on Box, and you can find that inside of Shapes down below if you haven't used it. I've used it recently, so it's going to show up as recently used. Once I have it there, I can change the color. Now I have a color palette. One of the great things about Canva Pro is you can choose a palette to match your branding. So it makes it a lot easier when you're choosing your colors. All right, so I'm going to go with red here. I'm going to just drag this out to the edge, drag it to the top, drag it down to the bottom, drag it to the side. Okay, so the outside of my frame is complete. All right, now you don't want it to be a big thick line around the outside because again, this is going to be laid over the top of the video and you don't want to cut out any of your video necessarily. All right, the next thing I want to add is my photo. So I'm going to use a frame, or actually I'm going to use a shape to start out with to outline the frame. So I'm going to grab that circle, bring it over here. It's a pretty good size. Now I'm going to stick a frame inside of it. The frame is what holds the photo. All right, so it's too big. I'm going to shrink it down. I'm going to stick it inside the circle. So if you drag it around, you'll see the lines pop up. That'll show you where center is. So that's center. Let go of that. Move this frame over to the side for a second. I'm going to do one thing to this element. And if I draw a box around them, and I click on group. Now I can move the element and both those elements will stay together. All right, so let's go to photos or uploads. You can upload your own photos. I've got this photo here that I'm going to utilize. I'm going to drag it and you'll see it pop into that frame. Once it pops in there, I'm going to let it go. And there you have it. Move this back into place. All right, I'd like my logo to be on there as well. So again, I'm gonna go to my uploads. I'm gonna find my logo now. The logo you wanna use is the one that's the transparent logo. So if you were having to layer it on top of something, you wouldn't see the background. You'd be able to see it through the background. So transparent is the best one to use. You can see I do a lot of stuff in Canva. Lots of photos. And there it is. So it's a little too big. I'm going to size that down a little bit. Don't want it to be overwhelming. I just want it to be present. All right, so that's done. And last but not least, I want to add my name. So I'm going to go text. I'm going to use a sparkle I recently used. Pretty cool text. And I'm just going to put Coach Jeremy Williams. Now that's way too big, so let's size that down. Much better. Drag that down here. I'm going to put it next to my photo. Now it's very hard to see, so I'm going to change the color of that. That black shows up really nice. Okay. Might want to move it down just a little bit because, again, we don't want it to get in the way. If we're doing a video, we don't want it to get in the way of the video. All right, great. So that's it. Now, the most important thing is making sure that when you download it, again, this is a Canva Pro only option. So when you go to click download, you're going to select the option with a transparent background. So everything that in white, it's going to allow whatever's beneath it to show through. So if it's video, that will show through. So click on download. And that's it. Now it's on the hard drive of your computer, ready to be used. Again, I use a product called Wondershare Filmora. I'm not going to get into that today, but what you would do is create 2 layers. One layer would be your video. The second layer would be your frame, and you'd run that frame over the top of your video. And so throughout the entire video, you'd have a picture of you, your name, your business logo show up, or whatever you want to create on the background of your frame, so that you can be as creative as you want to with the frames. I would not get overly creative because you don't necessarily want to take away from the content of your video. The video is more important. All right. So I hope you find this helpful, and this is the tip for the week. If you've got any questions about this, or you'd like to ask me questions about the coaching that I offer for real estate agents and small business owners, reach out to me today. Have a great day.